Hello again, my friends. So now we get to do lots of calculator stuff. So ultimately what we're going to do is we're going to go back to page 3. I don't know why I started on page 6. We're going to go back to page 3 and we are going to, ultimately, this is all this lesson is going to be. We're going to go to these bad boy equations here. See these? We're going to type in our y equals. We're going to learn how to do that. And we're going to hope to get that. That's what we're doing. We're getting them into our calculator. And we're going to see that those babies match. All right? Okay. So the first thing I want you to see here is it's the equation y equals 3 sine bracket 2x bracket plus 0. If I add a 0 to the back of anything, do I need it? No. So I could just type this in as y equals 3 sine 2x, right? I don't need the plus 0 at the back. So if my d value is a 0, I don't technically need to write it. But we're going to try this anyways, okay? So we're going to follow along. You're going to grab your calculator out. I'm going to reiterate to you that mode, press the mode button. Oh, come on. Why is it frozen? Are you a student? No, I am not a student. Okay. Mode. This is awesome. I don't know why it's not working. Do 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 do. I have to pay for this. See, look at that. Cancel anytime for any reason. Not today. All right. I haven't paid for it yet, so it doesn't like me right now. So we're going to go to mode. This is what teaching at home happens. I'm going to pay for it, but it's going to cost me $54, and I haven't put it on my credit card yet. So you guys are getting this. I hope you enjoy. So we're going to go to mode, and we're going to go to radians, and we're going to make sure we press enter and that it's bolded on radians. All right? Next thing we're going to do is we're going to go to our y equals. I'm going to clear these out. So you're going to go to your y equals, and you're going to type in that first equation, which on your sheet is 3. So you're going to press the 3 button. Then you're going to press the sin button, which is actually sine. It's right beside cos and tan. You press sine. And you're going to type in 2. You press the 2 button. And then the xt theta n button. I only have an x button because this really isn't a TI-83. It's like a knockoff, I guess you could say. So I'm going to press the X button that's up here, but you have an, oops, I pressed it a whole bunch of times. So I'm going to press delete, delete, delete. Oops, too much deletes. Okay, and you could put a plus 0 at the back. Or you could leave it like this, or a plus 0. But adding a plus 0 to the equation, if it's your d value, you don't need it. So you could have the plus 0 or not. The next step we're going to do is we're going to go to window. And we're going to change our window to suit this window here. So even if you use your lowest x here, so I'm going to use negative pi over 2 and as my lowest x, and 3 pi over 2 as my x max. So negative pi over 2 is my x min, 3 pi over 2 is my x max, negative 3 is my y min, positive 3 is my y max. And then in my calculator, if I'm going from here to here, like this should be what I see in this yellow graph here, should be what I see in my calculator if I didn't mess up my equation. So my x minimum in my window is negative pi over 2. My x max is 3 pi over 2. My y min is negative 3. My y max is 3. Okay, so we're going to go there. So we press window, which I already did, and we're going to go clear. And I'm going to put in negative, so negative button's beside the enter. Negative pi is the shift button and the little roof button. Pi divided by 2. And you're going to have a slash. Remember, this is a knockoff calculator. So it's very close, but it's not the same. You're going to have a slash, which is perfect. Okay? And then your x max is going to be bracket 3 pi divided by 2. If you do 3 pi divided by 2 and not in brackets, it would actually work in this case. But I like practicing if my numerator has more than one thing in it, putting it in brackets. So I could go 3 pi divided by 2, and you'll have a slash in there, and that's perfectly fine. My x scale, I'm going to leave be 1. My y minimum, I make be -3. My y maximum, I make be 3. And my y scale be 1. Not 21, 1. And then I press graph. And it should, so it goes, starts here, goes down -3, up to -3, down -3, up to -3, and a little more. Let's check. The yellow starts here, is down to -3, up to -3, down to -3, up to -3, and back down here. So it matches. So we did good. We got the equation right. We can move on knowing I got this question 100% correct. So you should walk away from this homework assignment that you're handing in to us, and you should know if you got it 100% correct or not. So they should match. Okay, let's try another one. So we're going to do number 2, which is y equals 4 bracket pi over 3. The pi over 3 needs to be in brackets because that's the only way your calculator knows it's a fraction. Open bracket x minus 1.5, close bracket plus 2. So we're going to go to our calculator. We're going to go to our y equals. We're going to clear it out. And we're going to put in 4 sine. The bracket's open, but I need another bracket to put my pi divided by 3 in, so that my calculator knows it's a fraction. Remember, your division symbol is going to be a slash because that's what the TI-83 is. Or 84, so I'm doing a knockoff, so mine is a division symbol. So this can be pi divided by 3, and then we open bracket, x minus 1.5, then the bracket's closed. I arrow over, and then I get plus. Oh, I need to close that bracket because I need a closed bracket because I have an open bracket, open bracket, open bracket. I have the same amount of open brackets as closed. So I have 1, 2, 3 open brackets, 1, 2, 3 closed brackets, and then plus 2. Now I don't want to hit graph because I want to go to my window. I'm going to change my window to fit this. So my lowest here looks like -1. My highest x looks like 9, 10, 11, 12. So I'm going to go from x minimum of -1 to x maximum of 12, y minimum of -3 to y maximum of 6. So I'm going to make it match. And then it should give me this whole graph. It should match it. So let's go to our window. X minimum, -1. X maximum, 12. X scale, 1. Y minimum, -3. Y maximum, 6. Not 36, 6. And then y scale of 1. And then we're going to press graph. Does it match it? Looks like it matches it perfect to me when I look at my graph beside me. So you should have your notes right beside you and see, does it look like it's exactly the same? It does to me. So 100% got that one right. We're going to go to number 3. Number 3, this is my equation. And once again, I'm going to put that pi over 3 in brackets. So I have -3 sine pi over 3 x minus 2.5 minus 2. I'm going to go to my calculator. I'm going to type that in. Clear. So I have negative, not subtraction, negative. So I hit the button beside the enter button. -3. It makes a difference if you press subtraction. Okay, so it needs to be the negative sign because that's what you would say. You wouldn't say subtraction 3. You'd say -3. So you type it in the way you say it. -3 sine in brackets pi divided by 3. So second little house roof symbol divided by 3. Close brackets. Open another bracket. X minus 2.5. Miss the minus sign. Minus 2.5. Close bracket. Minus 2. Now I don't press graph. I have to go to my window. Let's go see what we need. So my x minimum is -8 to 8. So -8 to 8 is my x max. And my y min is -8 and my y max is 8. So this is actually a really nice window. So my x minimum is -8. My x maximum is 8. Goes up by 1. My y minimum is -8. My y maximum is 8. Goes up by 1. And I press graph and I look. Does it look the same? It's even blue. It does look the same. So we know we are right. We walk away from this question going, boom, I got this. Totally got this answer right. Okay, then we look at example 4. This is my equation. Y equals negative 2 sine pi over 2, which is going to have to be in brackets because we want to tell the calculator it's a fraction. Bracket x minus 2, bracket minus 3. My window, my x minimums from negative 5 to 5. My y minimums from negative 6 to y max of 1. So let's type this one in. Remember to have your notes beside because I'm switching between calculators here, but your notes should be always sitting beside you so that you always have them. So we have negative 2, not subtraction 2, negative, so the button beside the enter, negative 2, sign button, open bracket to put the pi divided by 2 in brackets so your calculator knows it's a fraction. Remember, you have the slash, which is much nicer than what I have. Open bracket, x minus 2, close bracket, minus 3. Then I have to go to my window first before I press graph. My x minimum is negative 5. That is right, negative 5. My x maximum is positive 5. My x scales 1. My y minimum is negative 6. My y maximum is 1. Then I press graph. And does it match? Yes, it does. Awesome, you got it right. Let's go to the next one. So you're going to try the next ones on your own, okay? See if you can get it. And then pause it and then come back and check. So this half is a fraction, so I'm going to have to put it in brackets, and I don't have to write the plus 0 at the back. If d is plus 0, I don't need it. So I'm going to type in y equals 4 sine 1/2 x. My x minimum is 0. My x maximum is 4 pi. 0 and 4 pi. My y minimum is negative 4. My y maximum is 4. So we're going to go put that in. So we're going to go 4 sine 1 divided by 2 x. Window, we're going to go 0 is my x min, 4 is my x max, goes up by 1. My y min is negative 4, and my y max is 4, and I press graph. What happened? That doesn't match. What did I type in? 4 sine 1/2 x. What's my window? Oh, 4 pi. 4 pi. See? If I didn't have the right thing, it's like, that is not right. And I'm like, what did I do wrong? My window. It needs to be 4 pi. There we go. Now it matches. I was freaking out for a second there. But there it matches. All right. Let's try the next one. So y equals negative 5. So we're going to go y equals negative 5. I'm going to zoom in so my writing isn't so terrible. Sine pi divided by 6 in brackets. X minus 6. And we don't need the plus 0 at the back technically because it's the d is 0. I'm going to fix this 5 because it's terrible. Oh, my nephew who is 7 months old, because we're technically living with my in-laws right now because we are still in our basement suite because our house is built for June 5th. Super pumped about that. We're going to live in our new house. And like I said, I will show you guys a video of it when we get in because that'll be the first time I get to see it and it'll be the first time you get to see it. So that'll be super awesome. Sorry, I'm super pumped about it. Okay, back to the question. Y equals negative 5 sine. He is 7 months old and he is super happy out there. Okay. And his name is Jack and he's so stinking cute. You have no idea. Okay. Y equals negative 5 sine bracket pi divided by 6 x minus 6. Okay. And then we go to our graph. So we go from 0 to an x max of 24. Our y min's negative 5. Our y max is 5. So I'm going to go to my y equals. I'm going to clear it out. And I have, which one were we on? I just got sidetracked because Jack. Oh, number 6. He's so happy. Okay, so we get negative 5 sine pi divided by 6, close bracket, open bracket, x minus 6. And that's it. And my window is 0 to 24 by 1, and then negative 5 and 5. I'll press graph, and they match, and we're good. And you can practice the last two on your own if you want to practice some more, but you should be able to always check your graphs. And you can sketch these graphs really easy if you did type it in, because remember, you can go second table, and it gives you your table of values to plot it. So you can graph any of these graphs just using, if you went second graph, you get the table of values, you can plot any of them too. So you could draw these technically if it wasn't drawn for you. So it's pretty awesome. Anyways, I hope you guys have a fantastic week and weekend, and we miss you dearly. And it is not nearly the same as teaching in a class with you guys there, when you get to talk and we get to joke and have fun and we get to learn that way. But this is the way it is, and we are all making the best of it and having a lot of fun, trying to at least have fun. Remember to reach out to us if you have any questions, or you don't know what you're doing, or you need help with your calculators, or you're just like, hey, Lepp, I do not know how to find the period. You showed me really, really well, but I still find it very hard. You can reach out to me or Mrs. Secure, and we will help you with that. Bye, guys.